Hey folks, it's your buddy Jason here, setting up a little bit of automatic sun tracking action for my solar panels on my base, using some logic chips because I think they're a lot more efficient than the computer with a logic board. It just uses too much power for my liking. And I was thinking about it, and I had to look all this up, and there's been a couple of changes in the latest patch, so I thought, hey, I'll just make a quick video. So first thing you'll notice is that all of my solar panels are connected via the network port. All right. Separately than the power port. So I mean, not that no, it does matter, but it doesn't. So otherwise, we have power coming through right here, and we have our daylight sensor. Now, our daylight sensor, of course, gives us the location of the sun on the horizon in 180 degree increments. So right now it's not up, so it's giving us nothing. It's a good time for us to work on our system so that when the sun does rise, we'll have something to test it with. Alright, so what I have here is a couple of logic I/O chips, a math or a logic processor, and finally I have a memory chip here, but we'll get to that in a second. So first thing is we're going to want to build a logic reader, and this is just going to read the info off of our daylight sensor. Next, we're going to want to make a math processor here. There's a ton of different processors. We just want a logic math. Okay. The next thing we'll want to place is our memory chip. So our memory chip can go out here, and it does not need power. It's relatively simple. It just stores a variable. And then finally, we need a batch writer. Not a logic writer, but a batch writer. And this guy needs to be powered as well. So let's face it this way. And let's get to cabling. So the cabling here is going to be relatively simple. Alright, for this guy, we're just going to do power real quick. For this guy, we just do this. Turn it on its side here. Do a junction. I'm so good at that part of it. Oh, I had it too. I just totally freaked out, and there we go. Okay, back to a straight, because remember, as I said earlier, the memory chip does not need power. However, all these other guys do, and if we click them on, they'll go yellow because they're not configured. And I did that one the wrong direction for some reason. So hold on one second. Let's build a corner the right way. Alright, now let's turn all these off. Just want to make sure that they have power. As I said, this one doesn't actually need power. So next up, we cable these suckers together. Alright, so we're going to take the logic reader here, and we are going to cable it into 1 on the math unit. And then we're going to take our memory unit and we're going to cable it into the 2 side. Alright. Now we take our math unit and we go out this way towards our batch writer. Now I'm going to explain all this in a second. I'm just trying to get it cabled up so we can go over it. But I wanted to give an example of what the cabling will look like. Okay. And finally, we're going to attach our network of solar panels up top here. Okay. So, for some of you, this might be the time where you're going, that's what the screwdriver's for. It was kind of for me. So, now we've got power and we've got all these connected in a specific way. Let's go through what they do. This is the logic reader. It's going to take, as we said, the readings out of here, 180 degrees. Now, the solar panels on their vertical work on a 0 to 100 percentage tilt, right? So we can't just do straight 0 to 180 into there because they'll just stop at one point, and it won't track well at any point. In the logic reader, we can divide how much it's supposed to move and kind of tilt it every, whatever number of percents on the side. But that's just not as accurate. And it uses so much power, and it has to be on all night using all that power. So I don't like it. Anyway, the logic reader gives us 180 degrees. And we're going to bring it into this math unit. Now down here, we're going to go ahead and change this to divide. And it's going to divide whatever by whatever. So we got our 0 to 180 coming in here. Over on this little dude, we need to make it go. See, now in the latest update, they added these small screws and the ability to use the screwdriver and hit Alt here to use decimal points, which you couldn't do before unless you did a bunch of stuff. So it just makes this a lot easier. So we set this logic memory at 1.8. Okay. So it's going to be whatever this is divided by 1.8 is our output. Okay. And we have to come up here and never forget, you have to set what we're getting here. And we're getting the logic memory. Let's go ahead and set this guy. We're getting daylight sensor, and the variable we're going to get is the solar angle. So this guy is reading the solar angle, which is currently at 0. Well, actually, this thing tracks weird. The sun is about to rise. So now we get this guy reading the logic, and it's dividing, right? So we should be getting a kind of weird number because the sun is about to rise. So, and we're at 1.8 on this guy. Now finally, we choose our input from the logic math. We choose our type as the solar panel and our output as the vertical setting. So these two are on and they're giving us information. This guy's just holding it. So let's turn this on and, well, watch what happens. All right. So we're seeing our solar panels are tilting towards the sun, generating some power there for us. Now let's just kind of sit here for a second. As you'll see, they are slowly changing their rotation. And if we store this cable here and switch over to the wrench, we can kind of view, right? It's at 8%, 9%. And it'll do, I guess, finer adjustments than that, because I guess we're feeding it quite a bit of number data at the moment. Now, you can, of course, adjust this little formula of ours and, maybe get a little bit better juice out of it, a little bit better tracking, It depends on what your setup is. The only other note I have is that depending on how you face your solar panels when you place them down, you might have to rotate them left or right. Like these are currently rotated 90 degrees to the positive, so that they will face the sun, and when they're totally rotated down here, they're at 0 degrees vertical, right? If they were rotated the other way, or if these were flipped around, then you would be getting a different reading altogether. So I just kind of face them this way specifically for that reason. And that is kind of the long and the short of how these work. Let's go through it one more quick time before I sign off. And so we're getting, like I said here, we're getting our daylight sensors giving us our solar angle, which is being fed into here at 40, plus, I guess, 5 decimal points. It's coming in to 1 on here. 2 is 1.8. Now, this is a divide, so it divides whatever's coming in here by whatever is stored on here, just our 1.8 variable. It gives us this in an output, and you can see right now that's 25.6, 7, 8, 9. It's constantly moving. Now that goes out to our friendly batch writer here. If we say we have to go to, of course, to each of these with a screwdriver and tell it, what we want. So we have our logic math as our input, our variable is vertical, our output is our solar panels, and it is wired into all the network ports there. So finally, that is how you set up a logic circuit for your solar panels. I hope that helped. If there's anything I can do or any videos you'd like to see or any questions you'd like to ask, please leave a comment. I love sharing this stuff with you guys. I hope you have a great day. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. You can follow me on Twitter at McMaster, or you can catch me at Twitch at JV McMaster. Hope everybody has a great day.